We are recording and we are live. Over to you, Mayor Bynum.
Great, thank you. This is the regularly scheduled City Council meeting for Tuesday, November 17th, 2020. The time is 6 p.m. and I'm going to call this meeting to order. First thing I'd like to do is turn it over to our new mayor of our Montrose Youth Council, Harrison Hall, who will be leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Harrison, and congratulations on being selected to serve as mayor by your peers. That says a lot, and look forward to a great year with Montrose Youth City Council.
Thank you very much.
I'll turn it over. Great, thanks. I'll turn it over to Lisa Del Piccolo for a council roll call.
Barbara Bynum.
Here.
Doug Glasgow. Roy Anderson.
Here.
Dave Bowman.
Here.
Dave Frank.
Here.
Harrison Hall.
Here.
All city councilors and our youth council representative are present.
Great, thank you very much. Mayor Pro Tem Glassbell, are there any changes to the agenda, including additions and deletions?
There are not.
Great, thank you very much. Then the number on our agenda, number 5, is a great proclamation that I'm really excited to bring tonight for Small Business Saturday. So let me pull that up. Small Business Saturday, November 28, 2020. Whereas the city of Montrose celebrates our local small business and the contributions they make to our local economy and community, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 31.7 million small businesses in the United States, representing 99.9% of all firms with paid employees in the United States and responsible for 65.1% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. And whereas small businesses employ 47.1% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, and whereas 96% of consumers who shopped on Small Business Saturday agree that shopping at small independently owned businesses supports their commitment to making purchases that have a positive social, economic, and environmental impact, and 97% of consumers who shopped on Small Business Saturday agree that small businesses are essential to their community. And whereas 95% of consumers who shop on Small Business Saturday reported the day makes them want to shop or eat at small independently owned businesses all year long, not just during the holiday season. And whereas Montrose, Colorado supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. And whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Barbara Bynum, and the City Council of the City of Montrose, Colorado, do hereby proclaim November 28, 2020 as Small Business Saturday in the City of Montrose, Colorado, and urge the residents of our community and the communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. That proclamation is perhaps as timely as ever when the pandemic continues to actively affect small businesses in our community. And so let me just put a plug in here that shopping locally helps support your neighbor, and that makes a huge difference in our economy. So thank you to everyone who is able to do their shopping locally. Okay, next on our agenda tonight is the call for public comment for non-agenda items. So I'll ask Mr. Story if there's anyone that is attending the meeting either by phone or Zoom who wishes to make a public comment about something that's not on the agenda?
I see none, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. We will still take public comment for any items on the agenda. So if there are folks joining us for a particular agenda item, there will be public comment for those particular items. That allows us to move on to item 7, which is approval of the minutes, which is council consideration of the minutes of 2 special meetings held on November 2nd, 2020 and November 3rd, 2020 for the regular special city council meeting.
Bynum, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes of the November 2nd, 2020 special city council meeting and the November 3rd, 2020 regular city council meeting as presented.
Second the motion.
Thank you. We have a first and a second on that motion. And so, Ms. Del Piccolo, are you going to do a roll call vote? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glasgow,
Aye.
Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank.
Aye.
Mayor Bynum, we have a unanimous vote.
Great. Thank you very much. Okay. The next item on our agenda tonight is number 8, which is our 2021 budget approval. This is done through a process of an ordinance, and then it follows up with a resolution. And this is council consideration of ordinance 2514 on second reading, which is providing and appropriating funds for defraying the expenses and liabilities of the city of Montrose during the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2021. And then the resolution that follows that is we will accept public comment, and that's a resolution adopting the 2021 municipal budget. So to tell us and talk us through all of this, I will turn it over to our finance director, Shani Wittenberg.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and City Council. So this budget ordinance appropriating the expenses for 2021 is coming before you tonight on second reading. There have been no changes from the first reading, and I don't have a specific presentation prepared, mainly because we've seen it 2 or 3 times in the last month. But the appropriating ordinance totals $78,196,000, $196,824,000, sorry. And just as a reminder, I think you all know this, but just for the public and for anybody who's wondering, yes, that's the total of the appropriating ordinance for 2021. But any project or anything that exceeds $50,000 for sure will come back to City Council at a future meeting in 2021 for approval specifically. Most of those projects will also be competitively bid out. So we don't just take this ordinance and say, okay, go for it, everybody go spend money. We actually thoughtfully go through each and every line and item. Once again, we bid them out, we find the best value for the city, and then we do the project. So this is a large budget. It's probably the largest budget we've ever had, but it's got some really good projects in it. And you will see those projects again in 2021 at a city council meeting for approval, for final approval.
Thank you. I think not to oversimplify it, but it's a little bit like deciding you're going to save money to go out to dinner next year, but not deciding if you actually are going to use that money or where you're going to go or what you're going to order. So it's in the budget, but it doesn't mean the project is green lighted, but it still goes through a process with council.
Absolutely. Yep. It's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, you said it really well. I think sometimes it just helps the public follow along to hear things. It helps those of us on council, honestly, to hear things multiple times, especially when we're looking at the budget, which is one of our primary responsibilities on council. We have talked about it a lot. Are there any comments or questions from my fellow city councilors? I see some head shaking. Okay. I can almost see all of you on my screen, but not quite. So if I don't see you and you want to say something and I don't acknowledge you, please start talking so I don't miss anyone. Okay, thanks. Then in that case, I think we are ready to, so our ordinance, on an ordinance, we accept public comment, but it doesn't say that on my agenda. Is it, I mean, do we accept public comment on the resolution, but we don't on the ordinance?
I think mine shows it on both. Mine shows it on both. Or one accept public comment, but both items.
Okay, so I will ask if there's any public comment for the ordinance.
And I am seeing none, Madam Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Then in that case, could we have a motion, please?
Madam Mayor, I move to adopt ordinance 2514 on second reading as presented.
I'll second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, I'll turn it over to Lisa Del Piccolo for a roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassbell,
Aye.
Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank.
Aye.
Mayor Bynum, we have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. And then that moves us on to resolution 2020-25, which is City Council consideration of a resolution 2020-25 adopting the 2021 municipal budget. Does council have any questions? Is there any public comment? I do not see any, so we could have a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2020-25 as presented.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second, so I'll ask for the roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassbell,
Aye.
Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank.
Aye.
Mayor Bynum, we have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. Next on our agenda item is item number 9, resolution 2020-26. This is a resolution repealing and replacing chapters 3-1, 3-2, and 3-3 of the City of Montrose Regulations Manual and updating the fee schedule. And I will turn it over to our City Clerk, Lisa Del Piccolo, for further explanation.
Thank you, Mayor Bynum. The proposed fee schedule revisions were reviewed at the November 2nd work session, and since then, no further changes have been made. The meeting packet includes a summary as well as red line revisions, and then the resolution has the final version attached as Exhibit A. Most of the proposed changes are housekeeping in nature, just to bring the fee schedule current. At the very end of the fee schedule, section 313, subsection C, adjusts the trash and recycling rates. Those are probably the biggest changes. If adopted, this revised fee schedule will take effect January 1st. All the staff members who put proposed revisions in the fee schedule are present to answer questions. We can run through line by line if you prefer, or answer questions if you have them.
I don't think we need to run through it line by line. If folks are interested, now that we record and televise our work sessions, we did that in a work session and went through it in some length. So I don't think we need to do that, but it certainly is a great time to entertain questions from my fellow counselors. Does anyone have any questions?
I'd just make a comment, not a question, but I think the packet containing the red line information is really helpful for anyone who wants to know what things have changed. So I just point that out. Thanks, Lisa, for preparing it that way as well.
One comment I might make is that in one of our explanations, it says that the increase on the tax collection was 0.72 cents. And I want to just clarify that it's 72 cents, not 0.72 cents. So in case anybody read that packet and got confused.
And you're looking at the end of that fee schedule. I'm scrolling down. There's a lot of lines for the for residential trash collection.
There's one of the summary descriptions, but now I can't find it again because there's quite a lot of documents.
Yeah, I was going to say if we've got a typo, we should make sure that we get that corrected and like you have done, draw attention to it so there's not misunderstanding later.
It was in a summary and not in the actual red line or clear version that I can find.
Does that sound familiar?
It is very familiar. It's 72 cents per month increase.
Okay. Great. Okay. So there we go. Okay. So any other questions from council on the fee schedule and the chapters of the regulations manual? Okay. I will accept public comment if there's anyone here from the public who wishes to comment. I don't see any. Mr. Story, do you see anybody from the public?
None,
Are they
Madam
calling
Mayor.
in? Okay, great. Thank you. Then we could have a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2020-26 as presented.
Second that.
Thank you very much. We have a first and a second. So let's please do a roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassfell, Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank.
Aye.
Mayor Bynum, we have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. We will go on to item number 10, which is ordinance 2511. This is a second reading. Council consideration of an ordinance designating the BPOE Lodge Building at 107 South Cascade Avenue in Montrose as a City of Montrose historic property pursuant to Chapter 4 of the Official Code of the City of Montrose. I will turn it over to Assistant City Manager Ann Morgan-Thaler for discussion.
Thank you, and hello, council members. This is the second reading of this ordinance to approve the designation of the building as a historic property in the City of Montrose. This building's located at 107 South Cascade Avenue. It's known as the BPOE Lodge Building or the Elks Building. And this is where our City Council chambers and the Visitor Center are located, where we're usually having council meetings, unlike tonight. And after the Historic Preservation Commission recommended to City Council approval of this building for designation, you considered the first reading of the ordinance at the last meeting. And so now you're considering this on second reading. There's some information in the packet which we discussed last time about this building meeting the criteria in our Historic Preservation Ordinance. And thus, that's why the Historic Preservation Commission recommended approval of the building. And I just would note again how appreciative we are for our Historic Preservation Commission and their passion for historic preservation, and specifically for our chairperson, John Horn, who helps us put together applications like this and move forward with our process on historic preservation.
Fantastic. Any questions? Seeing none. Is there any public comment for this item?
I'm seeing none, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And I'll echo Ms. Morgan-Thaler's comments and thank our Historic Preservation Commission for their hard work. And would someone like to make a motion?
I move that we approve ordinance 2511 on second reading.
I'll second that.
Great. We've got a first and a second, so let's do a roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassfell,
Aye.
Roy Anderson, Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank.
Aye.
Mayor Bynum, we have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. Next on our agenda tonight is item number 11, which is ordinance 2515 on second reading. This is an ordinance amending the zoning district designation of Lot 5 of the Elder Homestead at Montrose parcel number 3767-353-04-005 from R3 medium density district to an R4 high density district. And I will invite Senior Planner Amy Sharp to tell us about this item.
Thank you, Mayor Bynum. I'm going to start by sharing my screen so I can show my presentation on this one. And as you mentioned, this is just our zoning schedule that shows the history and where we're at today. And as you mentioned, tonight we're doing the second reading of the zoning ordinance. So this is just kind of a repeat of what I shared with you back on November 3rd. This property is located just east of Pavilion Drive and between Robbins Way and Stonebridge Drive as shown on this map by the orange rectangle there. It is called Lot 5 within the Elder Homestead at Montrose. The project site here is outlined in yellow and it's approximately 1.99 acres. So as you mentioned, we are requesting a rezone from the R3 medium density district to the R4 high density district to allow for multifamily housing in this area. You can kind of see from this map the surrounding zoning. It ranges from R4 up north to R3 on the east side, R3 kind of in the middle there, and then the project site that's just under 2 acres, they're wanting to rezone to the R4 to put some more multifamily housing in this area. This slide just shows our rezone criteria and the things that need to be met in order for them to qualify for a rezone. This is also in your packet. As I mentioned, the rezone is to allow for multifamily housing, and that's the intent of the R4 high density district, as you can see from our zoning regulations. There's quite a bit of difference in why they want the R4 zoning in the dimensional requirements. You'll see here the R3 zoning allows for multifamily, but only at 2,900 square feet per unit, while the R4 zoning allows for multifamily housing at 2,300 square feet per unit. So that's why they're requesting the R4 zoning so they can add some more multifamily housing in that area. So the property is adjacent to R3 and R3A, but R4 is found within the VOA campus at the north end of their property. So on this map, you can see that this area is listed as residential mixed density low right now. We do believe, however, that it is in conformance to our comprehensive plan, because according to our comp plans that this area might have been designated as low density back in 2008. But as you can see from that last map, the conditions have changed significantly in that area since that land was initially developed. There's quite a bit of office park in the north end of that area, as well as some more VOA senior multifamily housing in their campus. And so we do find that it fits with the surrounding development. So staff finds that the proposal does meet our rezone criteria, the intent of the R4 high density district. It is in compliance with the comprehensive plan due to changes that have occurred in that area. It is compatible with existing uses in the surrounding area. And the Planning Commission did recommend approval of the rezone request to R4 on October 14th, and therefore staff recommends approval of the rezone as well to R4 high density district. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Do anyone on council have any questions? Then I will accept public comment at this time. If there's anyone from the public who wishes to comment on this rezone.
And I see no one requesting or raising their hand digitally to comment, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. So then we could do a motion.
Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2515 on the second reading as presented.
Second that.
We have a motion and a second to that motion, so let's have a roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum?
Aye.
Doug Glasgow?
Aye.
Roy Anderson?
Aye.
Dave Bowman?
Aye.
Dave Frank?
Aye.
Mayor Bynum, we have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. Next on our agenda item is number 12, which is ordinance 2516 on second reading. This is an ordinance for the annexation of the Woodgate Addition number 4. Again, Senior Planner Amy Sharp.
All right, thank you again. Are you able to see that?
Yes.
Okay. So this is an overview of the annexation schedule that we've been following on this project. And as you mentioned, tonight is the second reading of the annexation and zoning ordinance. So I'll give just kind of a brief overview, and all this information is in your packet as well. This property is located just east of South Townsend Avenue, and it's along Woodgate Road to the west of it. So this site location is just under ½ an acre. As you can see from this map, it is completely surrounded by city limits, which makes it possible for annexation. We are cleaning up an orphan parcel of land that's completely surrounded by the city limits, and we are applying for this annexation on behalf of the landowner in support of the upcoming Woodgate Road realignment project. The proposed zoning for this parcel is going to be B3 General Commercial District, which is consistent with what is up north. The surrounding zoning is B2 to the south and R1B to the east. This map shows the official annexation map for those of you who may be interested in seeing that. There's also a copy here at City Hall. In our comprehensive plan, this area is listed as general commercial. As in the future land use map, it's shown, there's a black dot there and it's located in the red area. So it's meant for a variety of auto-oriented uses, as you can see here, with a wide range of retail goods and services for the community. This area is located within Growth Area 1, according to our comprehensive plan, which just means that that's an area where infrastructure is already in place or nearby, and it's suitable for urban levels of development. It's also the most cost-efficient ways for us to grow. So analysis of this project, the area is urbanizing, as you could see, and more than 1/6 is contiguous to city limits. An annexation agreement was not required for this annexation. It is consistent with the public health, safety, and welfare, our annexation policies, and the comprehensive plan. This was recommended for approval by the Planning Commission for B3, and therefore we recommend approval of the annexation in B3 General Commercial District for this property. Thanks.
Great. Thank you. Any questions? Great. Okay. There's an opportunity for public comment on this as well.
And I'm seeing none, Madam Mayor.
Great. So would someone make a motion, please?
Madam Mayor, I move to adopt ordinance 2516 on second reading as presented.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second, so we'll do a roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassbell,
Aye.
Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank,
Aye.
Mayor Bynum. We have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. And so that allows us to move into item 13, which is ordinance 2517 on second reading. This is an ordinance providing for the zoning of the Woodgate Addition number 4 SB3 General Commercial District. And I believe that was covered by Ms. Sharp's presentation. I don't think she has additional information, but if she does or council has questions about the zoning, okay, then I will ask if there's public comment in regard to the zoning and accept any public comment on that. I don't see any. So we'll move on to a motion, please.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2517 on the second reading as presented.
Seconded.
Second that.
Great, thank you. We have a motion and 2 seconds for the price of one. So
Aerial seconds.
yeah, it's hard when we can't look at each other on the dais, but we're making it work. I will ask for a roll call vote in that case.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassbell. I think Doug said aye. Okay. Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank,
Aye.
Mayor Bynum. We have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. So now we are moving on to item 14, ordinance 2518. This is a first reading. This is council consideration of an ordinance amending the zoning district designation of Lot 1 of the Brittany boundary line adjustment from R-3A medium high density district to RL rural living district. And I will ask senior planner Amy Sharp to tell us about this item.
All right, thank you again. All right, so this one is shown on the map again by the orange string shape, I guess. It is down south. It's west of Highway 550, and it's just north of Racine Road, and kind of on the corner there of where it turns to County Road 6500 Road. So kind of the southwest corner. This site location highlighted here as being in city limits. Surrounded mostly by city limits, but there's some county to the south of there. It is 21.551 acres. So as you mentioned, we are asking to rezone from the R3A medium high density district to RL. The request is they want to allow for the lowest density possible to allow for farms and ranches. So this RL rural living district is the only zoning district where they can have farms. And it's noted, so we have R3A currently, R3 to the west, and then it's county to the south, and that's all agricultural. So again, here's a list of our rezone criteria. I won't read through all that. That's in your packet as well. It just gives the reasons for rezone criteria and what they have to meet in order to be rezoned. So this gives the actual definition from our code of what the rural living district provides for. It allows for farms and ranches, and also cluster development with open space. And it's designed to dovetail with allowed county residential density. So as I mentioned, there's residential county and agricultural just to the south of there. So in our comprehensive plan, this is listed as residential mixed density medium. There's also the low surrounding the area. So we believe it does fit in with our comprehensive plan overall goals, and dovetails with, being right on the border of the county property there too. Not county property, but within county, not city limits. So staff finds that the proposal does meet the rezone criteria in our code. It does meet the intent of the RL rural living district. It is in compliance with the comprehensive plan and fits in with the existing uses in the surrounding area. The Planning Commission did recommend approval for the rezone on October 28th, and therefore staff is recommending approval of the rezone to RL Rural Living District. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the Planning Commission for their work. Does council have any questions?
I have one question. Amy, what type of animals would they be allowed to have on this property?
Our code has some specifications on there. I think it's things like horses and cattle and different things like that, but they specify in our code, and I'd have to pull it up to get the exact language, but they can't have like commercial poultry farms and that sort of thing. So it specifies in our code what types of farms and ranches are allowed in the RL Rural Living District. If you'd like.
Thank you.
In the meantime.
Thank you. Any other questions from counselors? Okay, so on a first reading like this, it says to hold a hearing. I don't have a gavel, but a hearing is slightly more formal than public comment. So I will open a hearing and would entertain anyone from the public willing to enter any comments for the record on this item to raise their hand via Zoom or on the phone by using *9. I'm not seeing any. Great. Okay, then I will formally close the hearing on that matter and ask someone on council to please make a motion.
Madam Mayor, I move to pass ordinance 2518 on first reading as presented.
Second.
Great. We've got a first and a second, so I'll ask for a roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassbell, Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank,
Aye.
Mayor Bynum. We have a unanimous vote.
Great. Thank you very much. So now we're moving on to item 15, which is resolution 2020-27. This is council consideration of a resolution setting January 5th, 2021 as the hearing date for the annexation of the Lynch addition. And I will turn it over to Senior Planner Amy Sharp, who I bet is going to show us a calendar for how this will work.
How did you guess?
You know, there's some nice things about it being, you know, having a process and getting the process down, right?
It is. It's kind of nice. So you guys are used to seeing this. This is in your packet, so I'm not going to read through it word for word for you, but we had the overview on November 2nd. So I'm kind of going to give the same presentation and I'll go over it briefly. But since you've heard it before, I won't go into as much detail. Tonight, as you mentioned, is a resolution to set the hearing date. And then on the 18th, which is that next week already, we'll have the Planning Commission zoning hearing. So this property is located just north of Highway 50, south of Locust Road, and west of County Road 6700 Road. This property is approximately 16.84 acres. As you can see on this map, we have city limits on the east side of the property. It's located within the City of Montrose water service area, but the nearest water main was quite a ways away, so we did enter into agreement to allow the addition to be served by the adjacent Tri-County Water District for this time. The surrounding zoning is B2, so that's the zoning that they're requesting as well. It's consistent with the surrounding zoning. It's intended to provide for servicing the motoring public. Here's the annexation map for those of you who like to see those details. Again, also available here at City Hall. It's listed as a major center in the future land use map, which means that it just includes a wide range of community and regional retail uses, offices, hotels, and other services. And it can also accommodate multifamily housing. So shown on this map, this is in our growth area 2. Which according to the comprehensive plan means it's outside of the current city limits, but it does consist of some level of infrastructure or else moderate proximity to existing infrastructure. So in summary, the area is urbanizing and more than 1/6 is contiguous to city limits. We will be doing an annexation agreement and an annexation impact report since it's over 10 acres. The proposal is consistent with public health, safety, and welfare, our annexation policies, and the comprehensive plan. And we will be recommending approval of the annexation and the B2 Highway Commercial District at our future meetings. All right, thanks.
Great. Thank you very much. Council, are there any questions? Public, is there any public comment for this item?
I see none, Madam Mayor.
Okay, great. Then I would entertain a motion.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to adopt Resolution 2020-27 as presented.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. I'll ask for a roll call vote.
Barbara Bynum,
Aye.
Doug Glassfell,
Aye.
Roy Anderson,
Aye.
Dave Bowman,
Aye.
Dave Frank,
Aye.
Mayor Bynum. We have a unanimous vote.
Thank you very much. So moving on to the next agenda item is staff reports. And we have two items under staff report. And the first is our sales, use, and excise tax report from our finance director, Shani Wittenberg.
Good evening again. Thank you, Mayor Bynum. So this would be the, first I gotta share my screen. Sorry. I don't know why I don't get used to that.
We don't get used to any of it.
Okay, so it always displays kind of funny on my end, but this is the sales, use, and excise tax collection report for September of 2020, presented to you tonight, November 17th. General fund sales and use taxes are collected at 3%. That percentage has not changed since the late 80s, early 90s for the general fund. September sales and use tax compared to September of 2019, we have another very nice report for the general fund. Retail sales tax up 13.8%. Construction use tax up 11.8%. Use and auto use tax down 42.4%. We did see a couple of months there where auto use tax came in very strong, but not in September. Total collections up 7.5% with a positive budget variance of 8.7%. Year to date, our retail sales tax is up 6% or approximately $734,000. Construction use tax up 29% or $107,000. Use and auto use tax is down 6% or $61,000 with total collections up 5.8% or approximately $780,000 and a positive budget variance year to date of 8% or just over $1 million. So basically $1 million more has been collected than we anticipated in the budget for 2020. Public safety sales and use tax is collected at 0.58%. This was put into place on January 1 per the voters on November 5th, 2019. In September, we've collected $364,463, or it's a positive budget variance to what we thought we might collect of 9.6%, or approximately $245,000. And that would be year to date. The Montrose Recreation District, effective June 1 of 2014, and we implemented 0.3% sales and use tax in our community for the construction of the Community Rec Center. In September, we collected $188,567, or 7.5% more than we did in September of 2019. And year to date, those collections are up 5.7%. Excise taxes, hotel excise tax adds 0.9% to our sales tax, where restaurant is 0.8%. In September, hotel excise tax increased 6.2% over September of 2019. This is good news. This is the second month that this screen has been all green. Restaurant excise tax is up 7.6% with total collections up 7.2%. And a positive budget variance for the month of 10.5%. Year-to-date collections, unfortunately, this one is still red, but it's getting better. Hotel excise tax year-to-date is down 20.1%, or about $19,000. Restaurant excise tax down 3.5%, or $13,000, with total down 7.1%, or approximately $32,000. A negative budget variance of 3.9%, or we've collected $17,000 less than we anticipated for hotel and restaurant excise tax. Retail sales enhancement in 1990, the vendors agreed to give up a portion of their fee to fund this program. And in September, we collected $44,767, or 33.9% more than we did in September of 2019. And year to date, our collections were up 23.8%. Keep in mind that retail sales enhancement is based on the total sales tax of 3.88%. So that is why RSC is up versus our tourism taxes that are down. And with that, I will entertain any questions or comments you all may have.
I can't see everyone, so my screen again only shows me a few of you. So speak up, anyone on council who has questions about the sales use and excise tax report. Okay. Then let's go on to item B, which is the third quarter budget review.
Great. So I could share my screen. I don't usually share, but it's in the packet. And just for everybody's sake at home. So this is the third quarter ending September 30th. And these are unaudited numbers, but all of our main major funds for the city of Montrose, have with 75% of the year collected or completed, all of these funds have collected more revenue than we anticipated, and their expenditures are right at or below 75%. So we're feeling pretty good about the year. There will probably be a supplemental budget just to ensure that we don't exceed our budget. And that's mainly due to the CARES Act spending that we did not anticipate in 2020. So just kind of a little heads up for December council meetings. If you all have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Otherwise, we could probably talk about this all night.
Does council have any specific questions about the third quarter budget review? See any item on there that, okay. You know that Shaney's door is always open, not only to council, but to anyone in the public who thinks the budget is really exciting. She would love to talk to you and drill down and explain any of it or talk to you about it. So, okay.
Absolutely.
So I don't see any questions. Thank you so much. Thank you for your work on not only the sales use and excise tax report, but the third quarter budget review, and then most importantly, our whole 2021 budget. I know a lot of work goes into that, and probably tomorrow you'll start working on the 2022 budget because it seems like the process lasts for a really long time. It's very thorough. And on behalf of all of council, thank you and the department heads who work so hard to put together a very comprehensive, fiscally responsible budget for our city.
Yeah, thank you all. And yeah, definitely would not have happened without the other department heads and supervisors at the city. So it's definitely an effort that is everybody gets to participate. So, and I thank them for their participation.
Great, thank you. Mr. Harrison Hall, can I call on you next for a youth council update? Are you with us still? I know you're probably trying to also do homework or something.
Nope, I'm right listening in, so.
Fantastic. Do you want to give us a little bit of update on how things are going with youth council and what that looks like for you guys these days?
Yes, ma'am. So right now, currently, we came up with this idea for a monthly project, essentially. So each month we're going to be focusing on a different issue for a project and try and help our community and our youth with that project. Otherwise, COVID-19, that's still a bit of an issue for us. So I do know tomorrow we're going to be meeting all virtually. And that's pretty much what we're talking about in our current meetings right now, considering we've only had one.
Okay. So have you picked something to focus on for December yet, or is that something you're going to talk about at tomorrow's meeting?
That is something we're going to be talking about at tomorrow's meeting. I do know that we were discussing a time capsule project, and we're going to discuss all the details about that tomorrow.
Fantastic. The community is really looking to the Youth Council's leadership on helping us figure out what should go in a time capsule, because y'all are the only ones who are going to be around in 50 years when the community opens it.
You're making a lot of assumption there.
Hey, I'm just can do math. Thank you very much, Mr. Hall. And would you tell everyone on Youth Council how much we appreciate their interest in Youth Council? I know 2020 has been a really hard year on students and everything seems really different. And it would have been a really easy year to say, I'm just not going to do that this year. But really commend those of you who returned to Youth Council and those new counselors who joined you guys to take this on and to make a difference in our community. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Any other staff reports? Anyone want to jump in? How about from the city manager's office? Is it just me or are we all frozen on Mr. Hall? We're not, and you guys aren't? Okay.
Just you.
It's just me there. Now I can see you. Okay.
Yeah, Anne had raised her hand.
Thank you.
And I'm happy to start, Mayor Bynum, if you're ready. And Bill Bell, the city manager, is on as well. And so I know he'll chime in if he has anything to add. But I wanted to let council know and our community know that as the COVID-19 conditions continue to change in our community, the city of Montrose is working very closely with our county. We continue to do that. We've been doing that all year long to get good information from them about the public health conditions. And in the event that our city operations change, we'll communicate all of that information to you and the public. We used a website earlier this year on our city website. It was a web page, so cityofmontrose.org/COVID-19, and I'll put it in the comments for everyone. But that will continue to be a place to look for updates, and we'll share it on social media and everywhere that we can. operations change. But our goal, as always, is to provide excellent customer service to the citizens of Montrose, to protect our community members and also to protect our employees. So we'll continue to do that. And if you or community members have questions about that, please continue to call us. And if community members have questions about public health focused questions, issues, then they should reach out to the county, as has been the case over the last few months.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Any additional staff reports, Mr. Bell? I know you're joining us tonight.
I don't have anything to add. I appreciate Ann kind of outlining our plans for the next few weeks. It's uncertain as to where the community is going to be, but we're all keeping track of that. And I'll be in and out until November 30th. And the team's really doing a great job of keeping everything together. And I'm excited to be able to participate in this council meeting. And I'll be back for the work session on November 30th.
Great. Thank you very much. Council comments in no particular order. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about tonight?
I'd just comment that ask our constituents out there to be careful, continue wearing the masks, and good health to them.
Thank you.
Wash your hands.
Mayor?
Please.
May I? So it was poignant, I guess, that you had the small business resolution or proclamation tonight. And I wanted to remind our community that Montrose Bucks are being sold. And it's an excellent way to help our small businesses, anybody in town. And so I just wanted to remind people, we haven't talked about that for a while, that people responsible for that made some presentations a month or two ago, but we haven't heard much lately. So I just wanted to point out it's a great way to do some Christmas shopping, and it works really well. I've tried it myself, so I just wanted to bring that up. Thanks.
Absolutely. And members of our community can purchase those Montrose Bucks at our visitor center during their normal business hours. And they now, instead of coming as paper checks, that it'll come on a gift card that is swiped at the register in a business. So it's a little easier, I think, to manage in your wallet than the paper checks were. And the city of Montrose will even incentivize you doing that by adding a little bit of extra money to your card when you purchase those Montrose Bucks that are spent locally. So that, again, is at our visitor center. And you can, if you Google Montrose Bucks and City of Montrose, you can find out more information. Or if you are a business that wants to accept that card, we would love to have you. And that is also done through our team at the visitor center can sign you up. Fantastic. Okay, any other comments from council? Okay, well, welcome back to doing meetings virtually. It's been a little bit awkward. I thought I'd slide right back into it, but it just is different. It's a little bit hard. So thank you to my fellow councilors for bearing with me. Thank you to our IT support, to Greg Story, who does such a great job. And that it makes this all possible for us to do this way. Really appreciate it. If things with the city change, you can, about our COVID response, I'm being told that you can always go to the cityofmontrose.org/COVID-19. And I believe that's at the top of every city website page. And that's where we'll be posting up-to-date information as it has to do with city operations and COVID. But you can rest assured that no matter what, our police will continue to work and our trash collection will continue to get picked up, even if we suspend the visitor center, for example. So our basic city services will continue, rest assured. Okay, I don't think there's any further items tonight unless there's someone else that wants to say anything. Okay, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to adjourn. There we go. We got two.
That's done by acclamation. Thank you all so much for coming, and we'll see everyone around later, probably virtually more often than in person these days. Take care.